Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault, and today we have a monster review. And today's monster review is for a great creature, one I've always really enjoyed using. Oh, I like this creature, the Dragon Turtle. Yeah, the Dragon Turtle. And this is a creature that's brought to us through the original monster manual for use with Dungeons and Dragons, both basic and advanced, or what's typically called 1E today. And the Dragon Turtle is awesome. It's a very, very cool creature. It has a 0 armor class, great big turtle shell, up to 30 feet in diameter. And on top of that, it has 10 to 12 hit dice. Right? Close to potentially 100 hit points. Fantastic. Now, of course, with this big shell, it has very low armor class. It has an armor class of 0. Now, it only has standard magic resistance, and it has no specific resistance to normal weapons. But it is a 0 armor class with 10 to 12 hit dice. That's not going to work out so well. They're very intelligent. So these are ones that, theoretically, you can negotiate with and have potential motivations that you can take advantage of as an adventuring party. And of course, it makes it a lot more fun if you're the DM plugging this into your scenario. They're neutral, so they can be swayed potentially either way. Kind of nice. And they inhabit large, deep rivers and lakes, mainly inland, but sometimes in seas as well, usually like coastal areas of seas. Pretty cool creature, just by what I've told you. Now, it has one other thing. Like dragons, it also has a breath weapon. And its breath weapon is different. I like it quite a bit. It jets out a huge cone of scalding steam. It parboils you. Pretty cool, huh? I like it. The steam is less of a cone and more of a cloud. It extends out about 60 feet and 40 foot wide, 40 foot tall. The damage it does is equal to the hit points of the dragon, or the dragon turtle. So remember, we're talking here up to 12 hit dice, right? 96 hit points at max. But you got to figure the average is going to be somewhere between about 40 and 60, at the very least. All in one fell swoop. Now, of course, you get a save versus breath weapon, right? Half damage. Still very, very significant. Something you need to really watch out for if you piss one of these off. And a very different type of breath weapon. It's fun. And if you have a very powerful dragon turtle, wow, the amount of damage it does. I mean, it could parboil the entire crew of a ship. Think about it. Pretty cool. So a very dangerous creature, and of course, very intelligent. It's something that you can engage with if you get the opportunity to do so. And because it's neutral, you do have the opportunity to sway it one way or the other, to get it to leave you alone or whatever. But you have the opportunity at least to interact with it. So 0 armor class, that's its only real saving grace. Of course you can do damage to it magically, but don't let it get you. That's for sure. So us dwarves, I mean, do we run into dragon turtles? I mean, as a DM, I enjoy using these as a creature, but us dwarves, nah, this is kind of like not going to happen. We don't spend a great deal of time hanging out in the water. And if we do, our objective is to get off of it as quickly as possible. We're not water dwarves. And we definitely would not put ourselves in a situation where we might run into these if we can avoid it. Now, they have been spotted a few times. especially when we're traveling close to a river or a lake or something like that. You might see them in the distance. They prefer to spend their time in the water. They move very slowly and poorly on land. So not a lot of opportunities for us to interact. Not really upset about that because I wouldn't want to have one angry at me. I'm small and I squish easy. But of course, in the gaming world, it's a little bit different. And we went out to the greater Hornhelm community and asked the dungeon masters and players about, well, hey, come on, what about the dragon turtle? Cool creature, right? And the DMs definitely agreed. They said this was a lot of fun to use. People generally weren't as familiar with this one as they were with some of the other dragons. But there was also a limited amount of usage for it based on the kind of areas they inhabit. Having said that, the Dungeon Masters came back and gave this a very solid 7. I probably would have gone a little bit higher myself, maybe 7.5 or something, but okay. And really, in talking to the players, that's where it really got skewed. They came back and they said 8, 8.5. They said that when they encountered these as an opponent at sea, in the sense of being on the river or something like that, absolutely devastating. Smart, very hard to hit and kill, and ones that could do a lot of damage. I mean, pretty much all they had to do was swim into the boat they were in, and the boat was toast. I guess that makes a lot of sense. They could be very, very effective as an opponent. Though once again, it's how your DM handles things and how they use it and how you as players deal with them from either a negotiation or combat standpoint. So certainly a fearsome creature and one to watch out for. It seems like any kind of creature that has that starts off with the word dragon is going to be a tough opponent. So I'm going to keep in mind. Like it though. Definitely like this creature. One of my favorites to use. It's the great equalizer when it comes to things like, dozens of long ships or something like that. They can be quite destructive. In any case, my friends, that is the dragon turtle. We hope you found today's presentation to be interesting, educational, amusing, all that kind of good stuff. If you did, please be so kind as to drop us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Share with your friends. Drop us a comment. By all means, come back and see us again real soon. We thank you so very much for your kind support. Take care, everyone, and remember, dwarves rock!